Bertok
bond?
and Raffin.
Oh, no, that's fine. I don't mind.
Because mechanically the bonds help with the helper hinder move.
Yes, that's correct.
And I think that between fighting together and having each other's backs through that, that they would be able to help and hinder each other a little better than
Okay, yeah.
Average. So
I am fine with that. I can always use bonds and raise a little extra XP. That's not my main thingy.
I'll just start off with there. Okay, there's a couple new handouts as well.
All right.
There's a handout detailing how the case of maps works, and the alchemy set, and the various healing methods you guys have discovered so far.
Okay. I need to reconnect. I've got a bunch of other ones that you probably don't want me to see.
Okay.
Be right back. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so I have, yeah, all those handouts.
Okay. So those are there just kind of for reference.
Okay.
Okay, so, you guys pretty much just purchased the Nautulus from Tyrium at this point. And Boffin, your loyal engineer, is going to spend a day or so rounding up some crew that actually wants to be on the airship.
Okay.
So that is what he's going to be doing. What do you guys want to do here?
Where are we right now? I don't quite remember. We're in
Yes.
Tyrium, right?
Yes. Yep. You're in Tyrium, and kind of the whole east outer edge of Tyrium has been demolished.
That's right.
And burned and melted. There is an airship yard on the west side of Tyrium that survived the damage, where you can get supplies and various things for your airship.
Yeah.
War and Wizardry has survived. It's in the center of town.
Yep.
And they might be persuaded to buy or trade or identify items for you. And keeping in line with the idea we had last session that Bertok has lost his arm.
Right.
And it is now being kept in a jar in a barrel of pickling solution.
Oh, so, nice. Nice. Yes. Okay. I'm kind of thinking an airship equipment would be kind of a cool thing to explore up.
Right. There is the western side of Tyrium. You come out onto the field outside the walls, and there is a large a large field of lumber and saws and people doing airship construction here. There is also someone. There's also a few people who are engaged in making weaponry for airships. And off to one side there is large stacks of supplies for food and water and so forth.
Okay. The weaponry pile, do we know exactly what's in that? Or the vendor for that?
Yeah, most of what they appear to be making are large ballista type crossbow sort of things.
Okay. We don't have one of those, do we?
No, you don't.
That would be helpful to have one. But we don't have money. We just gave all of our money away.
You did give most of it away, yeah. I think you have 75 gold each left, something like that.
Yeah, that's not hardly enough for a nice big
Right.
siege weapon. What kind of ammunition do they have?
They have large, like extreme or large bolts, that look like they would do a lot of damage if they hit you. And they have a large, sharp point on them that's made out of steel.
Okay.
Would be very effective.
Again, we can't use them until we've got the weapon itself. Is there anyone here that could possibly use a courier service? I.e., can we ship stuff for someone here to another city?
You ask around, and yes, actually, somebody will approach. Somebody will approach you guys who actually says, who calls out to you guys. As hey Burdock, hey Ratface, hey.
Oh, is this who I think it is?
Maybe.
Did he not die? We turn around and look to see who in the world is talking to us, and who would be having the gall to call Raffin and Ratface, at which he glares menacingly.
A immensely round and well-fed wizard will be hustling up to you guys.
That's very round and well-fed, but I don't see the resemblance to a lizard. Okay. Do we know you? We say. Bertok says, because you are not recognizable at this point. Who are you? How do you know us?
We met way back when you guys found that box aboard the Nautulus, and then the city threw a big party for you guys. And I was actually friends with your lizard friend there, Ivan.
Oh. Okay.
And but then you guys went away, and I never saw you guys again. But I remember you.
Yes, we've been traveling, and I still can't say that I actually remember who you are. But we'll take your word for it. And yes. Well, what can we do for you, sir?
Well, I just wanted to say that, first of all, you guys helped me write my final paper on that let me achieve full wizardry status, so thank you for that.
Oh, I guess you're welcome.
And I heard you guys were offering a ride somewhere?
Yes. Do you need transportation anywhere?
Yeah, actually, I'm looking to get to Delgaer.
Okay. Delgaer. Have we been there before? Just as a... We were planning on going there, right? That's where Raffin was going to do his little shady deal.
Yes.
Oh! Raffin is going to light up at this and say, look over at Bertok kind of with a questioning glance and say, yes, we were actually planning to go to Delgaer already. He'll lean over, if you remember Bertok. And, yeah, we were actually planning on going to get Delgaer already. And he'll leave it at that, still kind of having a distrusting look at this individual who we still don't recognize. Bertok will kind of stroke his chin, think a minute. Yeah, we might be able to take you. What sort of accommodations? And his eyes will rove up and down the portly build. Were you expecting?
Oh, just a hammock or a small room or something that I can fit into. I have food, and he reaches into his robe and pulls out a paper.
He pulls out what? Man, he... Sorry, you cut out there. What does he pull out? Sean?
A pastry. And starts eating it.
Oh, very good. Okay.
And he offers one to each of you and says he has lots of them. So,
yeah. Okay, well, we will accept gratefully and taste it. And
yeah, they're pretty unfulfilling, actually. They don't have much taste to them. But
all right.
He says, now you're Burdock, right? And you're Ratface.
Yeah, Raffin, thank you.
Raffin. I must have misunderstood Ivan.
Ivan, yes, we didn't particularly get along, but we'll just leave it at that. He's... Yes. I'm Bertok, he's Raffin.
Oh, Bertok. Oh, okay.
Yes. T-O-K.
Okay.
And, yes, we would probably be willing to take you to Delgaer. And he will look over at Raffin and kind of, yeah, we could... I believe my companion here wants to go there, so I would imagine that, yeah, we could definitely take passenger. We're looking financially. What is it we owe on this thing, by the way?
I'm sorry?
What is it we owe on the ship?
You owe 500.
Which we have to raise in 3 months' time, 6 months' time?
A month-ish.
Oh, okay. Bertok, being such the businessman that he is, will say, are you looking to be a round-trip passenger, or just are you going there and expecting to stay, at least for a while?
Oh, well, I'm expecting to I don't exactly know how long I will be there. It depends on when I can find what I need to find there.
Okay.
It may be weeks or it may be a day. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, so you probably would prefer to book a one-way trip, and then when you're ready to come back, another one-way trip, correct?
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Okay, that will probably cost a little bit more, just because round trip we probably would consider giving you a discount. But if you would be willing to pay $175 per way, would that sound reasonable to you?
Sure. Could I pay both at the moment, and then you guys lift me when I'm ready to go back?
And at this point, Bertok doesn't quite know. He will say so, and he will say, I'm not actually sure how long we expect the trip to take. And of course, we may have business dealings elsewhere if you're going to stay very long, and we'll be out of touch and out of communication.
Of course.
So it would take us a while to get back to be able to pick you up.
Okay. That would be okay. Yeah, I have. Let me run and This is quite fortunate, because I was thinking, how am I going to get to Delgaer? And then you guys showed up, so that's nice.
Yes. Glad we can be of help.
Let me run and pack my things, and then I'll meet you guys at the airfield, I guess.
According to the payment agreement, I would say we would be willing to accept payment for the round trip right now. Yes.
Okay.
And then if you would like to pack and meet us there, that would be fine.
Okay. He will he'll round up the 175 per trip to 200 and fish around in his robes for a pastry, gold. Yeah. He'll come up with 2 sacks of 200 gold and give them to you guys.
Excellent, thank you.
And then he will toddle off to his dwellings and pack some things, and then scurry off to the airfield.
Okay. Very good. Yeah. Raffin will be holding one bag, and he'll turn to Burdock and say, wow, we just about paid this thing off already. And Burdock will be like, yeah, fancy that. Well, I'm extremely hungry. We're trying to think, do we want to take this thing back to Elban or not? Probably not. Just because it's fun to have cash lying around.
Yeah. While you guys are standing in the airship yard, you'll see Boffin come out the gate and head towards the supplies shed.
Okay.
And he will get into a heated argument with the person who's in charge of selling these supplies, and then go off in a huff. As he turns around, though, he will spot you guys standing there looking around, and he will perk up and bustle over to you guys and say, Hi, Bertok, hi, my lords. We don't have that agreement with Tyrium anymore that lets us refuel and resupply our stuff here.
Oh, like for free, you mean? For free, or are we expected to pay for it now?
Yeah. Now we are. Yeah.
I see. Okay. How much is a refuel and such? How much do you need?
He stands there and calculates for a moment. And actually, I need to calculate too. We have how many passengers?
Well, besides the crew, we now have one passenger.
Okay. All right. I think for $250 we could get enough fuel and supplies for a month.
Okay. Bertok will be a little bit taken aback by the number, but he eventually nods consent and says, "Yeah, well, we will." Okay, here's the situation. We need to pay off this ship, which we have 500 remaining. We just got the contract to take a passenger on, and he has already paid us 400. So for sure we can afford the equipment and such, but we're still going to be short about 350 to pay off at the end of the month.
Okay.
We somehow need to come up with a way to make that money. Would you agree that this is the case?
Yes. Let me think. We could. Let me talk to the guy one more time and see if I can get a lower rate on the fuel.
Okay.
That's the most expensive part.
Right.
Could I have? I actually don't have any gold with me.
Yeah, Bertok will hand him his bag, and then ask Raffin, well, you've got the other 50, so... It's 250, you said?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, here's the other 250, and Raffin will count out that much and give it to Boffin.
Thank you, my lords.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully I can do this. He bustles back over to the supply tent and flashes the gold about this time. They argue back and forth for a few minutes, and then some gold changes hand, and a large supply wagon starts to wheel through town towards the airfield on the other side of the city.
Mm-hmm.
Bertok comes back and says that he managed to get all of that for 175. So there's
cool.
There's however much left of it. So
125 left.
Right.
Of what we gave him. Okay.
Yep.
Calc 250 minus 175.
All right.
Plus 150. So we have 225 in our coffer right now.
Plus
Plus
400. Plus 400 minus 175. Plus whatever gold you guys managed to maintain. I think you had 150 altogether.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys actually have almost 500 altogether at the moment. So, awesome. All right. You okay?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just thinking.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I think if you guys want to check out the ballista weapons, I think they might be in your reach now.
Oh, price-wise, I think we need to wait on that. We're not in a huge hurry for anything, because since we're doing standard merchant business at this point, we do need to scrimp on gold and stuff.
Okay.
So I would rather wait on the weapon.
Alright, we can do that. What day is it? Alright, so do you guys want to do anything else while in Tyrium?
No, I think not. I think we're probably good to go.
Ew, okay. Alright, these supplies are loaded on board and secured.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Ballpoint pen down here, Ben.
Hang on.
Um,
Don't think so.
you guys say goodbye to your engineers, Yanrick and Valstiff. They go off with tearful farewells.
In the sunset.
It's in Castle, but it's...
Okay. Okay.
Here, I'll just use
We
this.
lost. So we lost 2 engineers. Darn it. Okay. Well.
But Boffin managed to find a replacement engineer and a gopher.
A gopher?
Yeah, go for this, go for that.
Oh, got it, yeah.
Mr. Galdrum, and the gopher Chris.
Alright. Howdy,
So,
Chris.
Chris is a newbie, but he's willing to learn and earn his keep on board. So they start piling things into the hold.
Mm-hmm.
Chris drops a crate that something inside of it shatters.
Oh, man,
And
Chris, come on.
Galdrum says, "Be careful with that. I'm sorry." But what's in here anyway? Don't shake it. Put it on board. We'll try to fix it later. Okay. All right. So you guys get all of your supplies loaded on board. Oh, I forgot to include Rollo. Rollo Featherfall. Rollo leaves a trail of pastries around the ship as he explores.
Pastry crumbs, you mean.
And he's fascinated by all the objects you guys have managed to collect.
Mm-hmm.
These could be valuable.
Yes, they could.
I want to stay here forever. I'm an expert wizard, you know.
We've heard. I seem to remember that you were quite renowned. Bertok will try to patronize him, just to get him to settle down.
Oh, thank you. Hey, you got a hag in here. Cool. What'd she do?
She tries to kill us on occasion. We keep her locked up as a result. Bertok will start to become annoyed by this guy.
He pokes the cage.
I would be careful if I were you, as she snarls.
She's not friendly. I'll just stay in here. Okay. So the ship weighs anchor, the fuel is loaded into the engine room.
Mm-hmm.
Everything starts All right. You guys do spend one day actually repairing the engine that was damaged by the owl bear passing through it.
Right. Alright.
That uses some of your spare equipment and so forth. But after a day, you guys manage to take off.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is to Boffin's satisfaction. They sail off into the sunset.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to Delgaer we go. Cut out again. Let me run and get that pen.
Is the laundry done, babe? Oh, guess not.
Hello?
Kitties. One sec.
Hello? Hi, Vicky.
Was there anything in the light heavy that needed
Yeah,
to
that's
be
what I was just
hung
going to
up?
ask you if it got done, because I'll come and...
Yeah,
Oh,
it's-
God.
They're all in the dryer right now, so if you want to pull anything out to hang.
Did you start the dryer?
No, I didn't. It's ready to go, though.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Hi, Daniel.
I'm back.
Cool. A couple days sailing, with some winds and rain and storm, bring you to the shadowed port of Delgaer.
Okay.
You are directed, what?
Just a couple days, huh?
Like 4 days, something like that, yeah.
Okay. Do we need to do perilous journey for this or not?
You're on a pretty protected airship.
Okay. Okay.
No, not for this.
Okay. All right. I know
I think
I'm shooting myself in the foot whenever I just make these suggestions, I know. Because usually you're like, oh, great idea. And then we all die.
I usually think a perilous journey is happening like when you've already gone through an area once and you're just going back through it,
Okay.
kind of.
Okay.
When you travel through hostile, yeah, whatever. Anyway, Boffin lands the Nautulus in the area of the docks that have been designated for the airships and other air vehicles.
Okay.
And you guys land, disembark, and are in the port of Delgaer, which is it's nighttime now, and there is a fog everywhere that is obscuring your view, except for the lanterns and so forth that are shining.
And the Sauron Tower, I see.
Yeah, that is.
It's freaking me out. I don't know what that is.
Isn't it cool?
Do we know what it is?
No, you don't.
Or are
Nope.
we just as...
Yep, you're seeing it for the first time. This the glowing tower off in the distance. Yeah.
Alright. I will trust that it will have its revenge on us at some point.
Alright, so, Rollo will disembark and then, like, realize how scary it is here and kind of creep closer to you guys protectively.
Look, man, if you want bodyguards, you're gonna have to pay extra, we say.
No, I'm a wizard. I can do this. I can do this. And he walks down the down the dock towards
Okay.
towards the shadows and slowly disappears out of sight.
Okay. Speaking of docks,
Yeah.
Raffin has a meeting to attend at some point.
Oh, that's true.
I'm not sure where, but I was told the docks, correct?
Well, Raffin, you have a piece of paper that we forgot to add to your character sheet, but
Okay.
that says to rendezvous with the House Blackadder, who will have further details. Who is the patron that your friends were referring to in Belfast.
All right.
House Blackadder, yeah.
So, I will go walking around
Okay.
and ask the first person I see who looks like they know what they're doing.
Okay. Alright. And the first area that you really come to that's populated is a large inn that is called Absentia.
Of course.
One of the person who seems like he's in charge grins as you mention the Blackadder family and points you to the center of town and says, "Go knocking on their gates if you want the Blackadder family. They're not here."
Okay. But you know where this is located, right? And he kind of looks a bit wary, but of course it's the best chance we have of finding this place. But do you know where I can find it? Because I'm new to the area, and I've been told I'm just supposed to meet these people.
He points out the inn door towards the center of town. He says, "Just go that way." And he points to sort of the northwest-ish direction.
Okay. Well, here I go. And Raffin bids farewell and walks out the door and starts walking up the street.
Is Bertok accompanying Raffin?
No, Bertok is finishing his business with Rollo.
Oh, okay.
Or going over ship stores and stuff.
Okay.
That he needs to be doing.
You know, what if Bertok accompanied Rollo as a bodyguard for some extra pay?
Bertok, right?
I'm sorry. Yes.
That would be reasonable.
Okay.
He could do that.
All right. La-di-da, la-di-da. They're up and down. Okay. So, yeah, Raffin wanders towards the northeast, towards the center of town here. Along the street. And he comes to an enormous mansion in the middle of the town.
Yes.
With a gate and a guard and a hedge around it and all the trappings of power and prestige here.
Okay. Before knocking, I do want to take a look around, possibly a discern,
Sure.
just to see if I'm getting myself into too much trouble right here. So, I get a 9 on that. Is there anything I should be on the lookout for?
Okay. The guard at the gate looks pretty menacing and pretty unfriendly. You're not 100% sure he's going to believe you if you come up and say, "Hey, I have a meeting with these people."
But I do have the note. I do have the letter.
That's true. That's true. Okay, yep, you can try.
Okay, Raffin walks up to the gate, kind of rattles it, and then pastes the letter against the bars without saying anything.
The guard will stride up to the gate, scowl down at you, and then realize there's a note on the gate, and bring a lantern close, peer at it, and he will summon another guard who is very plainly dressed compared to himself. They will whisper for a moment, and the plain guard will go through the gate, grab you, Raffin, and drag you off into the streets here.
Oh, great.
2 seconds here.
That's fine.
He will walk you all the way to an inn called the Bilgewater's Sweetness, that is owned by a large half-troll innkeeper.
Okay.
And the guard will say, "You idiot, you can't just walk up to the gate and get in. I mean, we got a reputation to protect here." But...
Well, pardon me, this was where I was told to meet whomever needed my services.
Oh, very well. You came to the right place, just not in the right way. So, talk to Lloyd. He introduces the innkeeper as being named Lloyd.
Mm-hmm.
And if you need to get back in, speak to Lloyd, and he will memorize your face and let you in next time.
Right.
But in the meantime, go away. Go away. He leads you, the guard leads you to down some stairs and into the basement of this inn. where there is a... He touches a section of the wall and a secret tunnel opens up. That the guard drags you down, Raffin. The tunnel leads back, sort of in the direction of the big manor house that you were trying to get into.
Okay.
And eventually the tunnel terminates in another wall, and the guard touches it, and it opens into a large basement of the manor.
Yeah.
There's richness and gold and all sorts of fine carvings everywhere.
Yeah.
The guard will then lead you to essentially a holding room where you're left by your lonesome for a few moments. Until a very richly adorned lady enters the room, saying, "Who are you and why are you wasting my time?"
I am no one except the person who has this note and was contracted by someone in, and he names off that city that we got the note in, to
Belfast.
Contracted by an individual in Belfast who said that you were looking for someone to deliver something for them.
Oh, you're the one with the airship. I see.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, yes, to you. Lady Blackadder to you. Yes. And let's see. You're actually in luck. Because at the moment, the other person we would need for this meeting is actually here visiting. So, yay.
Yay, my lady.
Sorry, I'm thinking 1 second. She before she gives the assignment, though, she does ask if she could examine the airship herself and just assure herself that it is up to what she wants it to be doing here.
Yes, that'd be fine. As long as I can accompany you, because we have our own interests to keep to protect.
Of course. Yeah. So she bundles up in a very plain-looking robe. The both of you go down the tunnel, up the tunnel, down the street, down to the docks, examine the airship. She asks a couple questions about the technical aspects of the airship to, I guess, to Boffin. He answers them to her satisfaction. And then you guys all parade back to the manor again. And she says, well, I'm convinced that your airship is up to the rigors that is needed. This takes several hours. You guys come back. On to the prospective mission here, if you guys want to undertake it. She rings a bell, and a a very evil-looking sorcerer walks in, bowing to the Lady Blackadder, and takes a seat at the table you guys are all seated at. This is Master Sargul, she says. He is involved in this enterprise, and you can trust him as you trust myself with details of this. Lady Blackadder will then
to which Bertok or Raffin thinks to himself, I'm not sure if I trust her, but okay. There is no one to trust in this business but yourself. This is Raffin's motto, so.
Did she say that out loud?
No, he's keeping this to himself.
Okay. Lady Blackadder will take a moment and fetch something from her chambers, and then come back and unwrap a canister. And in this canister is a golden glowing liquid that she says will make all of us in this enterprise rich beyond their imaginings.
I thought so. Mutters Raffin under his breath.
If we all survive. No. She pours some of this liquid out into a copper dish, and sets it on the table, and says that this material is called
Howdy? What's the material called?
Proteus.
Proteus, okay. What is its purpose?
It has no purpose at the moment, but it can be, she explains, it can be compelled to take various shapes or forms as we want it to. She takes a very small ruby and drops it into the dish of Proteus, and the Proteus crystallizes into an enormous version of that ruby.
Cool.
She reaches in carefully, and the gem, the enormous ruby, kind of fluctuates about, fishes out the ruby, and the Proteus just kind of collapses back into its liquid form.
Raffin is quite impressed.
Yes.
And his face says so, though he does not.
She notices. She also says that, as well as replicating objects, this Master Sargul assures me that this is also a component in various ancient magical artifacts that have not been able to replicate
I see.
because of the scarcity of this Proteus. It powers like shape-shifting items, and any real items, it has to change its form or shape or purpose or whatever. So it's a very versatile substance. Once we have it, and that's when a face will fall, because we only have this much. And she holds up the canister and glares at it as if she's annoyed that there's not more. We, that is Master Sobul and I, are very much under the impression that this came from a portal to one of the planes of existence. So, this canister came to us from a contact in...
Okay, go ahead.
Are you done with the box cutter?
Yeah.
This thing didn't come up. I'm sure you know.
Say again, what about a portal? Sorry.
This much Proteus could only have come from a portal to one of the realms of existence that reality is based off of. And so the Enterprise, if you're willing to take it up, is to try and find the particular, the portal that this Proteus came from, and then report back to us so that we can hopefully stabilize it and start to extract this this Proteus from that plane.
I see.
And if we can do that, we can do anything. She says we could replicate your airship if we get enough of it. We could enhance it. I mean, we could. There's so much that would be open for Delgaer and for my family in particular, if we could manage to find this portal. Now, there's a catch, unfortunately.
Of course.
The agent that sent me this canister, at the auction there was 2 canisters. He only managed to purchase one of them. So the other canister is in somebody else's hands, and it's very probable that they are potentially also going to be looking for this portal as well.
Okay. Do you have any leads on who they are?
My agent didn't know precisely who bought it, no.
Okay. So we really have nothing to work with as far as identifying them. But, okay, and then as to the pricing, what are you expecting to pay us for getting a hold of this canister? He asks.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
What are you, as for payment, what had you been expecting to pay us, basically?
Well,
how are we going to be compensated for?
Yes. Your note said that we owe you 1,000 gold, which we will of course pay you. We can also set up a deal with the port suppliers so that your airship can be fueled and supplied without with the cost that goes to the Blackadder family instead of out of your pockets.
Okay, well, that's fairly equitable in my opinion. I mean, yes, obviously I am interested in this mission that you have. At what point, at what kind of timing would you be expecting us to accomplish this?
There really is no time limit. I'm not sure how long it will take to find the portal that this came out of. It could be days, it could be weeks, it could be months. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
In principle, we want to find this portal before whoever got the other canister found it.
Yes, obviously.
If it appears that they did find it before you guys, we'll have to think about options then. Either sending in some kind of a force to get rid of them, or it depends. You know, it's kind of up in the air at that point.
Yes, I would agree.
But we'll try to stake the claim first and fortify it and claim a rightful inheritance here. So.
Okay. Trying to think. Payment again. When can we expect payment for this? Before or after? Because sadly we have a few things to pay for ourselves, and we will need money for trip expenses, as well as a few other things. He will not mention what these are, that being the debt to Elban.
Yeah, we can. I mean, once we have that portal, money will be, really no object. We can afford to give you. I should say I personally can afford to give you 1,000 gold now. And it would be advisable if my brothers and sisters do not know about this.
That is not an issue.
Thank you. It's wonderful doing business with shady people, just because they understand this sort of thing. She calls a steward, and the steward runs off and gets a sack of gold, and then he comes back and she hands it to you guys.
Okay.
There's a clunk as it hits the table.
Raffin quickly gathers it up, and it disappears. If we fail in our mission, will you be expecting this deposit back? He asks.
So if you fail on this mission, I expect you die. That's simple. Let me think. If you fail on this, no, I'm not expecting it back. No, I'm not expecting it back because one way or another, you probably won't be living if you fail. So.
Understood. He kind of shudders at that, but okay.
Master Sargol gives you a ghoulish look at that. Lady Blackadder will say, Master Sargol, the map, please. And Sargol will put down a map onto the table, which is in the handouts.
Oh. Cool.
So he will say that these are all the portals to the other planes that are active at the moment. So these may be ancient ones that have reopened, or an experiment gone wrong, or some weird rift in the ethers, or some. It's quite probably one of these that the Proteus came from.
This map looks like a group of islands. Are we expected to sail across the ocean for this, to this area?
Yes.
I see.
A couple of them can either be disregarded or not of consequence. They're just on this map for completeness.
Okay.
The one labeled A is deep within the Orc country, and they have for a very long time worshipped the god of war. So if they have a portal in their lands, this one has been there probably for a long time. And my guess would be that that one goes to war. And as such is probably not a new portal, and probably is not the one Proteus came from.
Okay.
The one labeled D, which is in the middle of the shadowed group of islands, I would avoid that area like the plague if I was going anywhere.
Okay.
That is a very haunted and difficult area. I don't think anyone who went there would ever make it out again, so it's probable that the Proteus was not come from there either. And then Lady Blackadder will pipe up and say that the other two to the far southeast are in portions of the Eastern Kingdom, which either I can try to get an agent to investigate them, or they are in places that are very hard to reach because they are civilized and have lots of defenses around them and so forth. So, really the three probably most promising ones are the three northern portals here that have the most promise. These areas are largely unsettled and uncharted.
Okay.
So it's probable that it's one of those three at the north there. That.
All right. Yeah, he will stare at it. So this one labeled A, B, and G, and he will point to them.
Yes. I'm sorry, B, C, and G.
Okay. Oh, C. Okay, yeah. He obviously was not listening carefully, because I wasn't listening carefully, and so he will probably forget most of this on the trip, and hopefully make some bad decisions, and we will have some excitement. That's my plan. Just so you're aware.
All right. Oh.
Just so you're aware that, yes, you may be able to break out your dangerous, scary areas after all.
Yay.
Because Bertok, or rather Raffin, is not the most attentive person about these kinds of things.
Master Sogul will give you a copy of his map, so you have it. And Lady Blackadder will question. Yeah, will question Sogul about what kind of properties this plane has that the Proteus came from. And he will say, oh, well, generally it is said to be glowing golden everywhere, like the Proteus itself, and it's composed of floating islands that extend for miles or extend for miles and just sort of float around, and everything is quite youthful and quite always growing, and it is a very beautiful place by all reputation. So
okay, sounds like an idyllic area. And Raffin will be. I could take it or leave it, but he'll definitely take the money, and so he will agree. And okay, so A, B, or C. All right. Do I want to what?
Do you want to ask any more questions?
At this point, I don't think it's necessary. He likes what he's hearing. I don't think there's going to be any trouble whatsoever. He will very... I mean, obviously, he is suspicious, but hey, we have much more to lose than our lives. So...
Okie dokie.
What's that?
Lady.
Say that again? Lady what?
Sorry. Lady Blackadder will say that they will await your reports with much enthusiasm.
Mm-hmm.
And she will give you a slip of paper that she says to show to the innkeeper of Absentia if you need supplies or food or vital things for the ship.
Right.
So.
Right. Oh, all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And then Raffin, assuming that he has leave to go, will stand up and start packing.
All right. All right, so Raffin, you have the 1,000 gold. You have a slip of paper that can resupply the ship as much as required, and a map of possible portals.
Yes.
2 possible places. Yay.
Yay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Heading back to the ship. I'm just going to go straight there.
Okay.
And doing some quick head math, because as much as Raffin cannot read, he can do pretty good head math.
Okay.
He will count out every penny of gold that we still need to pay off the ship and pocket the rest.
All right. His pouch is bulging, but it's not noticeable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's update things accordingly.
All right.
So we were saying we still need 225, right? Or do we have 225?
Correct.
So we need 275. He will count out that much, leave it in. He will pull out a different sack of a smaller size, significantly smaller size, maybe a quarter of the size of the one he has, so that it's bulging by 25 extra coins, and it will look like a lot more. And he will walk up to Bertok and just go clunk. Got it. Bertok will be like, ooh, what
did you do?
Oh, a little bit of business. We might have some mission that we might have an area that we need to go explore. But this should take care of the ship.
All right.
You do realize you just revealed the rest of the map, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys, yeah, it gets towards morning, the fog sort of lifts, and Rollo is still floundering through the twisted streets of Delgaer.
Right. He falls into the pit.
Oh, the pit. No, not the pit. He bounces. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Alright. So, Delgaer, from your vague rumors and stories about it, is a port where a lot of strange and mysterious and dark things can be bought. There's a lot of poisons, a lot of weird herbs, and strange relics from old places. Various clerics to dark and twisted gods here.
Yeah.
And Um, yeah, it's just a kind of a very dark and twisted sort of port city that
Okay. All right.
should be wiped off the map, but it somehow persists.
Got it.
Um,
Well, we're here for business, not necessarily fear of dark and foreboding things.
yeah.
Anything else we want to do here? Raffin will mention that we'll mention at least to Bertok and Boffin both that the journey that he has been contracted to undertake is kind of perilous, so we may want to pay off the ship before we go. He's not sure how long it will take, and we may be occupied for a while.
Yeah. Boffin will agree that that seemed like a good plan, especially since they don't want to pay off the ship and then pay for damages on the ship that they don't own yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does Raffin mention that they have free supplying here?
Yes, he does. We can go anywhere to the Absentia Inn, and they will supply us with anything we need, he says.
Oh, wow. That is awesome. Wow, that's a pretty high patron you got there, Raffin.
Agreed.
All right. Up to the map. No, you guys are on the map. No. Nautulus about face.
We're leaving Rollo.
Oh, Rollo.
Cute. I loved it.
Yeah.
But they only win 51 feet. This must be a miniature world.
Yeah, how long is that? Let's see. I'm not doing scale very.
That's okay.
And, okay, back to Tyrium.
Yeah.
Couple 5 days later, whatever.
All right. We've used up half our month. We immediately run over to Lady Elban's office and plop the 275 gold down in front of her and say, "It's paid for. Sign it over." Where's our title of ownership?
She
Or rather 500.
she says, "Oh, that's great. Okay." She signed over the title to you guys, and she says that they've already started putting some of the improvements in place for the airships that the Nautilus helped to inspire.
Do we get any royalty for this? Asks.
No, you got the Nautilus for pretty cheap there.
Oh,
No, you
yeah,
don't get
well,
royalties. While you guys celebrate finally owning the Nautilus and laying down in the inn and so forth, Raffin, you will have a very curious nightmare about everyone who you've ever wronged. Just starts like stabbing you over and over and over, and for some reason you do not die.
Cool.
Those poor slaves that you left behind, trying to escape from the orc camp, they will poke at you with their pickaxes and the implements, and blood will just keep pouring from you, and somehow you do not die.
Cool.
And
Done.
so someone will say in your dream,
That's enough windows.
Wakey.
Can you get plenty of sunlight?
What about?
What?
Waking something. Sorry, I was interrupted by cute girls.
Yes. They are the bane of existence.
No,
Wakey, Raffin.
He will wake and glare. I was having the most wonderful dream, he says. I couldn't die.
Yeah, you're not quite awake. There is a twilight sky above you and a shadowy plain. Out of the shadows, there's twisting a horse-like being, and beside that being is a quite rotund clown sort of figure with horn-like hair protrusions. They'll say, "Wakey, wakey, Raffin," again, and poke you.
He will rouse himself and look over to see what in the world is going on.
I borrowed this nightmare to come and visit you, Raffin.
Who are you? What do you want?
Were you having a nice dream?
I was. Who are you and what do you want? He repeats.
I'm just a fun-loving clown. But I come as an emissary from Lady Death, who is somewhat displeased that the black staff is still apparently in the hands of the goblins, Mr. Raffin. And
he pauses a moment but tries to look his most innocent, and as he racks his brain to try to remember what in the world the black staff is.
Does he actually ask this? What is the black staff?
No, he's going to remain silent and consider the clown's words.
Okay. The clown is going to continue that. Well, Death herself has a lot of cares on her mind. She's not personally going to make sure that you fulfill. She's not personally going to keep nudging you to do this. But she sent me to just a friendly reminder that.
Friendly, eh? He asks in a disbelieving tone.
I'm friendly.
You sure seem like it, he says, still with a disbelieving tone.
By the way, what method of death would you prefer, Raffin, if you had to? Maybe a humorous death? Sad one? An ironic one? I love ironic deaths.
As do I, Raffin says. If I had to choose, that would probably be the best.
Yeah. I have a whole carnival of ironic deaths. You should come visit it sometime.
I think I would rather
grins.
not. I would prefer I didn't die at all.
Yes, well, we all die sometime. Maybe, if we're lucky. He grins suddenly and grabs your hand, Raffin, and etches onto it with his long fingernail that leaves bloody gashes behind.
He rips it away. What are you doing?
He's engraved a 10 onto your palm.
A what?
And number 10.
Oh, a number 10. Okay. I thought you said tan. And I'm like, what?
No. And the scratches turn black and inky as it kind of turned into a tattoo.
Okay.
He says, "That will help to remind you, Raffin, of how much time you have left to complete death's decree." Bargain. It was a bargain.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you for this reminder, he says, kind of nervously. And he will glare.
What?
And he will glare at the clown.
Yeah, don't kill the messenger.
You seem to be enjoying yourself, though.
Why shouldn't I?
Well, you seem to enjoy your work a little too much, I might add. Haunting people.
You should see my carnival.
Why should I see your carnival?
Because it's even funner. It's even funner than myself.
Raffin will sigh deeply, just like that. And I don't know, something. He will look down at this scar on his hand now and glare back at the clown. I think I will forego the visiting of your carnival for the time being, he says, with a growl.
Alright. Just remember, any ironic deaths end up in my carnival eventually. So, if you die an ironic death, you will be immortalized in my carnival of delights.
I see. He kind of cringes a little bit, as he doesn't like the sound of that, but seeing as though he's made a deal with death anyway, he will shrug. That is my fate, I suppose. I'll just have to make sure my death is not ironic, so that I can avoid having to deal with you again, the likes of you again. He will smirk.
The clown will kind of give a snarl and then clamber back onto the nightmare's back. And he'll say to the nightmare, "Put him under again." The nightmare will lift up a hoof and clunk you on the head. That will push you back into dreams and nightmares and
Got it.
etc.
All right. Fun.
The last thing you hear will be the clown laughing hysterically as you finally wake up in the morning.
Yep. I slept terribly, Raffin says at breakfast the next morning. I had some stupid dream about a stupid thing I can't stupid remember. Don't you hate it when you can't remember your dreams?
As you reach to grab a cup, though, your hand stings.
Ugh. Deja vu. He will look down at his hand and discover that the scar is still there and be like,
Still
oh,
there.
that's what my dream was about.
Dun dun dun.
Alright, have we taken off yet? Or are we still in port at Delgaer?
You sailed back to Tyrium,
Oh,
and I was
yes.
assuming that
That's right.
you were
forgot about
spending
that.
the night. Yeah.
Shows how much I'm paying
So they're
attention.
I know. Vicky, you're distracting him.
She can't hear you. I have headphones.
Aww. What if I shout really loud?
It will probably deafen me.
Okay. Yeah, you guys sail back to Tyrium, and then the dream was when you guys were sleeping on the ship and still docked at Tyrium.
Okay,
So-
okay. Got it. Check out my pin cushion.
Ooh, cool.
The idea is it goes above this little house, comes out of the chimney, and is the up house.
Oh, awesome! Cool.
Well, the ball is kind of big and distracting.
Oh wait, you're back in Tyrium. You can buy some stuff now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can. Let's totally do that. Let's waste all of our money on weapons. Weapons are cool.
Yeah, going off to the airship yard again. The only real thing they have are the large ballistas,
Right.
which are, they're quite expensive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you mentioned
but
that.
they do a lot of damage, and they're quite impressive.
Okay, so what are we looking at as far as cost goes? Because I'm totally going to buy one of these.
All right, they are 75 gold each.
The actual ballistas, right?
Yes,
How much are the
and then
arrows?
they are 2 bolts per gold. So
Oh, well, that's not bad at all. Alright, so let's just say that we want 75 each is 150 for 2. That would definitely distribute the weight throughout the ship evenly if we got 2. Let's buy a stock of, I don't know. 100 bolts.
okay, and even 200 gold. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now these ballistas are big enough that you can't easily carry them from place to place.
Okay.
these are going to have to either roll or be mounted permanently in one spot.
All right.
But to the Nautulus. And for fixed weapons like this ballista, I'm gonna say that your individual damage rolls don't affect these, but they do good damage anyway. So
okay.
There's a ballista.
But we still need to pass an aiming thing,
Correct.
right? Yeah, that's what I figured.
How many ballistas did you want?
We were going to look at an even 50, I think. Oh, ballistas, 2.
Okay.
And then
Copy. All right. Dang, those are massive. Alright, and you guys can put them where you want, as soon as I say you can. Controlled by everybody. And controlled by everybody. Hey, ballistas are on the Nautulus.
Yay.
Awesome.
Cool.
And a stack of crossbow bolts. There's one. There we go. Okay, cool. That will set you up for a lot of stuff.
Good. Can we take it out for a spin and try them out?
Sure.
Like, let's go to the fields and shoot antelopes from the air, because that's going to be awesome.
There's some cows.
That works.
Okay. Whoever's aiming it, roll the dexterity.
Right, roll for dexterity. Who has the best dexterity? Oh, Raffin. Raffin's got a good eye. Take a shot, Raffin, Bertok says. This'll be fun. Pew. Yeah.
Yeah, that cow just kind of disintegrates.
Oh man, I was trying to shoot it so that we might be able to harvest it and use it for food.
Ew. The chest disintegrates. The rest of it's okay.
Oh, cool.
There's still legs and front legs and a head, but big hole in its chest now.
Yeah.
Flops over the other cow stupidly. What's wrong with you?
Cool. Okay. Bertok's like, wow, that was awesome. Let me try. We fire another.
Alright.
With 0 dexterity modifiers. Pew.
Nice. You get another cow.
Cool.
The farmer crests over the hill,
Okay,
waves his
wait.
pitchfork at you. Ah, murderers!
Bertok's like, quick, and shoves it over to Raffin. Raffin lines up another shot at the farmer.
The farmer realizes who's been shooting his cows and turns and starts to run away. And you guys shoot him from behind. And he just collapses with that big bolt in him. Oh, God.
Yes, okay.
The farmer's wife crests the hill. No, we can stop now.
Okay. You're not going to let me be too...
It's very effective. Oh, it's very effective. Ooh. Okay.
Ah.
Alright, so you guys are set up with ballistas.
Yes.
So you guys are set up with ballistas. Raffin has a reminder that a mysterious black staff needs to be retrieved from the goblins.
Yeah.
And you guys are all, in addition, under a quest to find a portal to whichever realm it is that the Proteus came from. Yeah. So, wow, that was an action-packed session.
Agreed.
Cool.
I just thought of something. No, nothing. Nothing important. To this session, anyway. Something different. But anyway, okay.
Jesus. That up house is pretty nice.
Oh, thank you. Wait, were you talking about this house?
No, the up house with the balloons.
Oh. Well, this is the up house with the balloons, but I need to finish building the balloon ball. Because right now it's just a foam ball with pins stuck in it on like 1/3 of it.
How do you feel? Do you want to keep going or pause here?
At this point, I think we probably could pause, yeah. I mean, you said you had something going on today, and that's why we wanted to go an hour early. Right?
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Forgot about that. It just seemed like a good point to pause. Right.
Yeah.
The poor cows.
You probably won't give me credit for those, right?
Yeah, no, they weren't.
Oh,
I don't think Bertok would consider it a significant enemy.
right. Nor would the Lady of
Did you
Death.
say what?
Nor would the Lady of Death consider it a significant enemy. Howdy. Welcome back. You had a question?
Yeah, did you want to put any other structural improvements on the Nautilus while you're in Tyrium?
I cannot think of anything that I could do. If you've got any suggestions, I would definitely think about them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, you mentioned at one point you wanted to put like a gangplank on it, but
That would be cool, yeah.
I don't really have any big suggestions, no.
Okay.
See if we can find a gangplank for you.
Yeah.
Which one? Oh, it's a premium. Yeah.
Howdy. Ow. Three. Weird.
close you guys to being done?
Really close.
Because say if not, I'll bring you lunch. But you know, you've got a big enough house that you probably could go with the next biggest and be okay.
Yeah.
Because that's the size of the smaller house in the picture, but I think you'd be okay with the bigger one.
Yeah. And it's probably not going to do this type of thing.
Yeah.
There you are.
Sorry, I'm back. Yeah. That was weird. I don't know what happened. I gave you guys a gangplank though.
Oh, good. Cool.
Up the left side there.
Yeah.
So I guess the engineers do some kind of a rope system that like lowers and raises it up to the balloon. So
All right.
it's not always down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neat.
I'm not sure if you saw the handout last time, but there's a handout for the orb of scrying that Raffin has.
Right. That's the cursed one, right?
Yes.
Where every time he does discern reality, somewhere in the universe somebody knows about it.
Or
knows where he is.
Only on a 7 or below. On a 10 plus, you don't.
Oh, okay. Now, what... He did get a 7 on the one about the gate, didn't he?
But the orb of scrying... Yeah, the orb of... He wasn't using the orb of scrying then.
I thought he had to wear that all the time. Like today when he was at the Blackadder mansion and tried to examine the gate.
Okay, no. Then, I'm sorry. The orb of scrying is not... The orb of scrying is not used every time you discern reality.
Okay.
Sorry if that was...
No, that's fine.
What you thought, but no.
All right. I should look at that then, because that's cool picture.
Yeah.
Is that your picture?
No.
Oh.
Just from search for crystal balls.
I figured you might have one. Maybe.
Huh?
There's always a chance you might have one.
Oh, I do, but I didn't take that picture.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Can I see it?
Yeah. Here it is.
Ah, cool. It's very clear, transparent. Unless you say it isn't, then of course I would not argue with you. Ah! It looks like, contact juggling ball.
Yeah, I tried to use it like that, but it's very heavy.
Ah.
But yeah, it looks like the ones that,
From the labyrinth.
Yeah. But it's cool.
Yeah.
Scuffs on it.
Alright. Tree feller. What is the tree feller? Agatha's sword.
Oh, yeah, that's the sword that Agatha's been lugging around with her.
Okay.
She tells you its story once in a long night.
Yeah, Raffin already forgot.
Despite its name, it's not good against trees. But
Yeah, well. Oh, it wasn't hot glue that they used on this thing. Anyway, I'm thinking of something else. But
What's
anyway, there was some project that I was trying to do, and I don't have the right equipment for it. I just made a ball that always rolls to one side. Because it's not a ball, it's a foam. It's this foam ball, but I accidentally melted off one side and then covered it with hot glue. So now it looks like the side is missing is also the heavy side, which is funny.
Oh, cool.
But no, I need the paste, this weird clay paste stuff, to make what I was trying to make. Because he was telling us how to do like a flaming rolling ball, a ball of flame that rolls at you. But the way to do that is using this special pasty clay stuff rather than hot glue. And I thought it was hot glue. So I'm going to make that. Well, I can't make it because I don't have the clay stuff that you let harden. But, yeah,
That's too bad.
we'll figure it out. I'll figure it out eventually. Ouch.
Sell some of this stuff, you guys. No, I guess not that you need money, but
No, we're good.
So, does Raffin share his need for that black staff with Bertok?
I think so, at this point. Because Bertok would be interested in knowing that goblins have something that is important. And of course that would also assist in the bonding thing that we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I completely forgot. Raffin made like 6 experience last session with all his failed rolls.
Oh.
And something else. Oh, the bond with Burdock and coming into ownership of the Nautulus and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So Raffin made a level?
Oh, cool.
I was going to say he made level 6, yeah. So
How much experience total? Because I could tally that up real fast.
let me just make sure that Raffin's not leveled up yet. Oh, he is level 6.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Sorry, I guess it was already taken care of. Never mind.
Oh,
Sorry.
right. I think you gave us totals for that last time. And so I already added them to the character sheets.
Okay.
And just needed to grab a new skill for Raffin. And didn't yet.
Okay. That's what it was. Okay.
Hot glue streams everywhere.
Curses.
Alright, well, I think we are looking at getting lunch, so I probably ought to get going myself.
Alright.
And then I will... Oh, I have the Goblin Biter Flail scanned.
Cool.
I still have yet to actually make it into a map. Or not a map, but a banner. But
awesome.
I will try to get back onto that soon.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, just letting you know I am progressing with that.
Okay, great. Awesome.
Yep. And then, yeah, I will take a look at Raffin's skills.
Yep.
In a little bit.
If you were going the poisoner route, at level 6 there's a really nice one you could get.
Okay.
But
all right. I will take a look and see if I can come up with something.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, I will let you go.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a great afternoon.
You too.
And I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Take care.